I'm feeling kind of down. So I'm going to talk more about my memories. When I was, for the first 3 years when I was living with mom, when I was in my mom's custody, um, I mostly ate, it was paper that was from a spy toy kit. That means you use all the time. And I ate that most of the time. And because probably that's probably the reason why I ate that most of the time, probably the reason for eating that most, probably the reason why I was so underweight for my age, really underweight for my age, or for 6, 7, and 9 is probably because I really didn't eat because mom didn't really cook anything. I mean, she would cook lobsters all the time for AJ, but I didn't really eat lobsters back then. And then I ran out of that spy paper from the spy toy kit when by the time we got into the second house. So which was then for the rest of the years until I was when I was 9 until I was 10. At some point after I turned 10, I was in the meantime mom, did I say mom didn't really cook anything? Yeah, she never really cooked pancakes because she didn't know how to cook them without undercooking them. And her pasta, she would just overcook, so they would never taste good left over. They would always taste soggy. And her oatmeal was always chunky. Very chunky, and the only reason why I put so much sugar in it is because over a pound of sugar, like 2 pounds of sugar, because to stop making the oatmeal chunky is the reason why I put that much sugar in. Because it was like so thick, it was so thick, and you had to put lots and lots of sugar in to make it liquidy, a little bit liquidy, to eat it. AJ like cream. AJ didn't like cream. That was cream wheat that I had, not oatmeal. I'm sorry about getting confused. And AJ was the one that had oatmeal. And that always came. I noticed that always came out so flat and soggy looking. But AJ seemed to love it. It was funny. I remember how mom was. He remembers how mom should have been like being cook like when she was never really a good cook at anything. And the only thing, and so I mostly also, that's what I also mostly had. This cream wheat was over a pound of sugar in, more than 2 pounds of sugar in the old cream wheat to make it, not all clumpy, to start making it all stick together. And the second thing I ate most was strawberry chunkless ice cream without the strawberry chunks in them. I didn't know what brand mom got to get them. And I should have asked her because it would have made it easier. Seems easier because I miss strawberry chunkless ice cream because I don't know, I just miss the simplest things I like. And I asked mom to cook me fried dough, constantly ask for fried dough, and mom says she can't cook me fried dough all the time because it's not good for me. But yet she will really cook anything that I like. And when it came to ordering pizza, no one would save me a slice. Not even one damn slice. The pizza would be all gone before I could even get to the pizza to have eat. So, and then this was all in the first house. And, then when we get to the second house, I was all out of the paper that was spy paper that was from a spy toy kit. So I tried having regular paper, but this didn't taste as good. So, and this was when I was 9 in the second house, after we moved when I was 9, from out of the first Medford house and into the second Medford house. So basically I mostly ate wintergreen mints, lifesavers. And you know, they were a lot more better than, they tasted a lot better than paper. And I had them for full 2 years. So I haven't opened the bag in 2 years. So they were still good, and sure they were very soft, but they still tasted good because I don't think those things go bad. So I ran out of them when I was 10. So Lighthouse and my doctors know that I started gaining weight at 10 when I turned 10, sometime when I turned 10. And the reason why I gained weight, not because I was eating well, but because I decided to, instead of having, this is making me sick thinking about it, which is probably going to make you sick also. When I ran out of wintergreen lifesavers, I decided to just, instead of taking wintergreen lifesavers meal, I took my medicine, which was Depakote and Amantadine, by overdosing them constantly, several times a day. I usually took 20 for each one, several times a day, which was 5 or 6 times a day that was. And you know, that filled me up. Kind of grossed out how that filled me up. Sorry about getting nauseous and funny. It's just, all of this is grossing me out. The fact that I mean, why in God's name couldn't I actually get something to eat that I like besides cereal and chips and Cheetos? I mean, that's basically what he had mainly for me available all the time. But AJ, he could have lobster and stuff. Of course, I didn't like lobster back then because I didn't feel like trying lobster back then. And that I survived on Depakote, and I drank Depakote, overdose on Depakote Manti till I was 13. And the last 7 months I was living with mom's custody. And I told her I've been using Depakote and Amantadine as meals instead of having the actual stuff to eat, because I don't like any of the stuff, because I don't get any protein bars anymore, and I remember when I was getting protein bars, I noticed I remember I slowed down gradually slowed down on overdosing on the Depakote and Amantadine. I remember that now. And that was when I was like 10 or 11. Things stopped getting protein bars because I was having a box a day, which there was 20 in the box. And he was giving me a hard time because he just didn't like spending money. And even though that was spending the money, he just didn't like taking care of me, and he was like me. He was giving me a hard time. You're not supposed to have these as a meal or as just a snack. You're supposed to have these in between working out. You're not supposed to have them whenever you feel like it, which I was working out. uh, I was doing push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks, 100 of each, like 6 or 5 times a day. Most times it was 6. Sometimes I'd take it easy and just do 5 times a day. It was only when no one was looking at me. So yeah, that's all.